Hi everyone, welcome back to Cody's Lab. So I am currently collecting sunflower seeds. You can see here the pods that are completely dry and ready to be harvested. I'm just kind of crushing them into a bucket. I might separate out the seeds later. Yeah, just like that. So these sunflowers are a great source of nectar for my bees, but as you can probably tell, they only grow where the ground has been disturbed. Like if there's any sort of other grass or brush growing, it crowds it right out and these sunflowers will not grow. But as it happens, there's a pretty big area that just got cleared by a forest fire. So I'm collecting seeds, which I am going to go plant in those burned areas. That way, next year, my bees will have a few more flowers. Up here where we've pushed the dirt with the bulldozer to make the fire break, be another good spot to throw these seeds. Anyway, I got the breeze back. What I've been doing is kind of taking the seeds, picking them up above the bucket, and then dropping them. Seeds fall in, all the chaff just flies out. Just by doing that, I'm able to clean the seeds pretty good. See, it's mostly just sunflower seeds now. Plus I came up to here, so when I do lose seeds, they just end up in the fresh dirt. So very many, but let's take the drone out, see how much we can spread them. Alright, let's see if this works. Just load it up with the seeds. Okay, so it's flying around. Looks like it can shake quite a bit. I push this button, and it drops them all over the place. Perfect. So here's my first drop that I tried. As you can see, when I dropped the seeds, the wind was blowing the opposite direction that I thought, and so the seeds all blew out of the burned area. So here is my second attempt. I flew farther into the burned area, but when I went to drop the seeds, very few fell out. I figured that it happened because the wind from the rotors blew the seeds out of the container, so I tried it again with an egg to hold the seeds down, and that seemed to work. But of course I couldn't use an egg for the final test because there's just too much weight. So I ended up with something else, which you'll see here in a minute. You might have noticed just as the drone was taking off that there were some sunflowers growing in front of it. The sunflowers, they do grow elsewhere from places that have been disturbed, but they are pretty sparse. Anyway, speeding up the video here, flying over into the burned area so you can see the whole trip this time. You can see the extent of the fire. It burned pretty much this entire canyon over there. Anyway, slowing down the video, you can see I'm picking out the landing spot. So once again I've decided to fly farther into the burned area. Because the wind can be pretty unpredictable. It is blowing a different direction from where I'm standing. So maybe if I could drop two things and see where the wind blows, but unfortunately the drone is only set up to drop one thing at a time. Anyway, I think that's right about where my drop location that I'd picked out. I think I actually spin the drone around yet, just to make sure that I'm far enough in so the wind won't blow the seeds out of the burned area. You can see a view down at the ranch there. Okay, and just about ready to drop. And away they go. You can see that I used a flower to hold the seeds down. And that seemed to work quite well, and I think it was rather fitting, seeing as how it was sunflower seeds I was dropping. And that flower fell for a really long time. I don't think you could actually see it all the way with the video. And here's another drop I did, but the wind of course was blowing and it blew it out of the frame. You can see most of it did actually land in the burned area. So I'd say that using the drone is a good way to transport a small amount of seed, maybe a handful or so, to a hard to reach area. Anything more than that, you know, it might be better to hike in with a bucket and just throw it by hand. So for those of you asking about grass seed, we do throw grass seed out, but usually the native grasses just come back. It does take a couple of years for them to get established again, but they will recover. And when they do recover, they'll just crowd out all the sunflowers. So we got maybe a year's worth of good flower forage from my bees coming up. So hope you enjoyed. I'll see you next time. Well, I'm gonna drop it like right in front of me here. Okay. Go up the hill. Where's the drone? There it is. Can I go up high? No. Then I won't be able to see it. Just go right in front of us here. Okay. Did it drop? Oh, I hit the ground right in front of us. Now that one was rotten. The chicken is sitting on. Yeah. The kids in my high school class would have loved this thing. Well, pretty good with that thing on it. Oh yeah, that's a good little drop bucket. Too bad it don't hold a little more liquid. You could use it to put fires out. Yeah. I bet you could carry one of those fire grenade things. That'd be like spitting on it. Yeah, it would.